My name's Ken Spencer. I'm a multi-style skateboarder from the Bangor, Maine area, and this is different kinds of skating. Well, some of them. Alright, so first off, we have street skating. Basically, your average Joe skateboarding. I don't want to say that because there's nothing average about any of this, but basically, your cone-shaped wheels and, like ollie tricks, most of the stuff like Rodney Mullen invented. So, your wheel that will normally have your axle stick out and stuff. And, yeah, then here is a street deck that I've slightly modified for when I'm teaching freestyle as well. So it had a concave, which is, the, I guess, shape of the board. It's dipping it right here. Then also it has steep, I say steep kicks. Compared to other boards, this is steeper. So it's like, made for doing flip tricks, ollie tricks, stuff like that. I think this is an 825 maybe. And yeah, like I said, I have modified it for freestyle. So the grip tape down here and the skid plate are for freestyle. Speaking of which, to get to freestyle now, this is a freestyle deck. It is a flat, not like very little to no concave. Speaking of which, to get to freestyle now, this is a freestyle deck. It is a flat, not like very little to no concave, very flat board, like almost no kick. It's like very little. It's very flat. And it's a twin tail, so it's symmetrical all the way down. Then we have homemade skid plates because I'm lazy. And I did this because I was teaching in a gym and didn't want to use regular skid plates, which normally you'll drill onto here with some hardware, and it will just help protect your tail against razor blade, which is when your this gets super thin and sharp. Sucks to do tricks and stuff. And then also for tricks, you normally pivot your foot a lot in the middle. So this is, I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's like much more worn down right here compared to here. Like this is grip tape, this is grip tape, this is not, this is just worn down. So there's that, and then also freestyle wheels. These are my Waltz skateboarding coconut carvers. So if you notice compared to these, it's a bit wider. Also, the freestyle wheels. These are my Waltz skateboarding coconut carvers. So if you notice compared to these, it's a bit wider. Also, the bearing in this is a lot more set in, and this is a lot more set out. That's because the bearing is offset. That's the term I'm going to go with. It's offset. So how this is symmetrical and it, it's in the middle. This is offset so way you cover up the bearing, or not the bearing, the axle, so way you can do tricks like this, where you're going to have your board kind of like this, and you're going to set your board on the side, and that allows you to be a lot more stable and a lot more flat. Also for coconut wheelies, it's super nice. Because you roll on the edge, and you're not hitting your axle. Now, of course, I'll attempt to list companies to buy stuff from for both these styles of skating. I'll do my best. Also, bushings. For freestyle, you want harder bushings. These are plastic at this point because you don't want to turn in freestyle. While in street skating, these are a bit softer, a bit more light. So much more for turning I'm not going to attempt to take this apart right now. But, yeah. Much more bendable, much better for turning and doing, flip tricks and stuff, because you want to turn, obviously. Now, when street skating, not in parks, I suggest using cruiser wheels. I don't have any on me at the moment. I suggest using a thinner cruiser wheel, such as Slimeball and stuff like that. I think it's a 40, or not 40, 56 or 54 millimeter wheel. So it's a bit. I have a regular cruiser, so it's thinner than this, but it's wider than this. It's just that easy, perfect like thing to get across big bumps and stuff. But yeah, much more bendable, much better for turning and doing flip tricks and stuff, because you want to turn, obviously. Now, when street skating, not in parks, I suggest using cruiser wheels. I don't have any on me at the moment. I suggest using a thinner cruiser wheel, such as Slimeball and stuff like that. I think it's a 40, or not 40, 56 or 54 millimeter wheel. So it's a bit. I have a regular cruiser, so it's thinner than this, but it's wider than this. It's just that easy, perfect like thing to get across big bumps and stuff, and kind of just get from point A to point B. And you want to use lighter wheels like that, so you can still do tricks. Don't power slide them. I should mention, these are harder wheels, so they're much better for power sliding. These are like semi-hard wheels. They're like pretty good, but you can still power slide on them. Then say something like this, you can't power slide. These are way too soft. They bounce. I'm not gonna show you guys that, but yeah. And then you also have smaller wheels, which you could use at a park. I guess that there's not many uses for these outside of certain situations. So yeah, I think that's everything for this one. There's gonna be a part 2 where I go in more depth of other styles, but these are just the ones I'm covering today. So, yeah, peace out, and until next time, keep skating. All right, Editor Kane here. Forgot to go into specificity of what wheels you should use for what. So for cone wheels, I suggest skate parks, or if you have smoother ground or concrete, like California, Japan, some places in New York. But if outside the skate park, anywhere else, I suggest a thinner cruiser wheel like this, Slimeballs, or the Powell Peralta and the Anderson Nano Cubics, since those are a bit thicker, a bit wider, and have the same hardness as a regular wheel. So yeah, just preferences, and once again, I will list in the description where to find these things.